Hey, streaming cyberspace into your place, sanctioned by the Bootleg Racing League from Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. It's doubleheader Saturday night on the Virtual Grip Network. First up, 7th round coverage of the Outlaw SK Modified Invitational Series Season 38. You know, it was Italian cyclist Fausto Coppi who coined the phrase, old age and treachery will always beat youth and exuberance. Well, Fausto is 5 races away from being proven wrong because the driver known as Young Gun has stretched his point lead over his nearest competition known as Old Time. Aiden Young Gun Young races tonight in the wake of his 3rd season win and with the not only the aforementioned exuberance but with confidence and momentum. But you don't get to be a 5-time champion like Old Time Donnie Moore without surrendering before all hope is lost. Moore has won at this track before. The same cannot be said for Young. So, pull the lever on the lazy boy and settle in for some simulated short track racing action about to stream your way from the state that gave birth to the king of rock and roll and the queen of soul, Elvis Presley and Aretha Franklin. A warm Tennessee hello and welcome on this Saturday night, February 15, 2025. All night long, it's Zach Saggy Chapman joining yours truly, Bill Soupson, live in the VGN broadcast booth to bring you our words eye view. And we wouldn't be a VGN race without replay Ryan Seneker, turning the knobs and pushing the sliders. All right, Zach. Well, what do you know about this place and the SK Modifieds?
Well, you know, I think this is one of the few tracks where we can really expect and anticipate double file racing. I mean, if you can't wash up to the outside coming out of the corners, you're just not going to be able to carry enough speed to complete the pass on the inside. Let's hop on with Chris Hazlett right now. He's going down the back stretch here. As we enter 3, you see good amount of banking. When you're by yourself, you want to enter in that center, go down, try to crack the apex. Maybe overdrove it a little bit, but he floated up to the front stretch wall, and you're going to see here coming out of 2, he needs to do it again, and that's what I'm saying. You are on the outside. If you get a good run center off, you can really make some ground, and this could be a track where Aiden Young, after winning last week, moving up through the pack, high side, that kind of suits his style. So
riding on board with the lipper. Look at him get those left sides right down there to the yellow line, and he comes out of the corner. It's going to be a good one tonight. Hey, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the points. You know, with Steven Spies making his season debut at Myrtle Beach, the number of drivers who have raced at least once this season climbs to 28, with 13 having raced in each of the previous 6 events. And Spies is back here again tonight. Why do we talk about him? He's not in the top 10. Well, he has 2 career wins here, more than any other driver racing tonight. Watch out for the 55. Aiden Young Gun Young led 22 laps at Myrtle Beach on the way to his 3rd win of the season. Old Time Donnie Moore went into Myrtle Beach 5 markers back of Young. He left with that gap doubled. Another 5 back tonight is James Lowe. Moore won in the season opener, Lowe in round 5. The quiet man will be silent tonight as weather-related internet issues will force Ruben Altice to take those last place provisional points. Chris Davis has 3 podiums, including a win at Five Flags. Last time out, Todd Liston led 78 laps from the pole before slipping to 4th. Ed Foster, well, he has a 2nd and a 4th, but every other result for the Adelaide Blade has been double digits. John Wilson's 2 worst results have come in his last 2 races. The Canadian Goose finished a sour 16th in both Stafford and Myrtle Beach affairs. The season started strong for the caveman Trey Bloom with a 4th, but ever since, he has not been close to a top 5. And then the last driver out there, surprisingly, Scott Negus. You know, he's not finished better than 8th this season. My goodness, the Canadian driver not having the season that he would like, but he is very competitive. With that said, let's go ahead and run down the starting grid for you. We have a nice, healthy 2 score of drivers with us today. The front row is going to be populated by the man we just talked about. 8th is his best finish. He's starting on the pole tonight. We're talking about the number 29 of Scott Negus. He's going to be inside of Double Deuce Bruce Pearson.
Tom Hilbert rolls off on the 3rd position into the outside, the 13 of Bobby Hayes.
Pair of veterans make up row 3. How about Kurt Smith and Donnie Moore?
To the inside of row 4, the 55 of Steven Spies. To the outside, Todd Liston.
Chris Davis has been fast. Good to see him back in his number 7. He's going to be inside of James Lowe. Remember, Lowe has a win here on his resume.
Row number 6 to the inside, the young gun. Aiden Young to the outside, the Lipper, Chris Hazlett.
In the Baker stud spot, it's the Canadian Goose, John Wilson. Flanking him, Daryl Cheese and Weinecker. And then a little farther back, we got Adam Shane in the 15th spot with Steve Hilbert, the chief, former police chief of Plain City, Iowa, in the Sweet 16 position, all ribbons and curls. Rookie Ed Springer in 17th with the boss man Lowell Jewell outside of him. Last row populated. Well, it's the caveman. And welcome back to the series. Have not seen a lot of him this season. Jeffrey Harden is back with us. Harden, another driver with a career win here in the Bahamas.
Internet flicker. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey.
Oh, I had a heart attack there for a second. Everything stopped.
Oh my goodness, you and me both, buddy. Fortunately for our viewers, it's going to be a 2-man booth tonight. 20 cars on the field. Oh, let me correct myself. 21 when you take into account the perfectly mesmerizing Josie Kirkland once get behind the wheel of that beautiful Mustang. They work down the backstretch. We got 100 laps for you on tap tonight, and that's all we're going to have, unless there is a yellow flag right at the end and we get a green-white checkered. Only one of those. Scott Negus on pole, in control of the field. That's how the rules go. Bruce Pearson a little bit ahead. Bruce has to wait. Get back there, number 22. Hey, chug-a-lug, makes you want to holler. Idaho. There goes Negus, gets the drive down into the first corner. All the Stampede's going to follow him. You heard Shaggy talk about the top side. Maybe it's going to work. Look at Double Deuce Bruce Pearson trying to make it go. We got a caution early on, Shaggy.
Yeah, we do. The Canadian Goose, John Wilson, involved somehow here. I believe he gets a little bit of help. No, he doesn't.
Oh.
That's a single car spin. That's the one he's going to be shaking his head over. There was some contact around him, but they did a good job of avoiding it. It was hairy there for a second.
The Goose had his left wing way below the yellow line. Maybe the car rotated a bit more than the Goose wanted. Happened right in front of Adam Shane. Shane does a good job of watching that one spin around in front of him. Why don't we take an opportunity to dial up the man who had a good view of that one? Let's bring up Adam Shane right now, number 79. See how he's feeling. Good to see Adam with him. Adam is soup up in the booth. He had a good view of that one.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Had a nice fool of John Wilson as he went around in front of you there. Take your breath away a bit?
Just a little bit, and I started thinking, man, I don't think I hit him, did I?
No, you did not. Absolutely. That was a self-spin. Which line do you like? The outside line work?
I don't know. I haven't been out in the outside too much tonight. I've been trying to see how the bottom is, and the bottom's fast, but I think later in the race, I believe the outside's going to work.
Shaggy?
Yeah, you know, what's the key here? Do we just drive in slow here, save that right rear, or is track position king? You want to get to the front and kind of set the pace?
Well, tonight, I think I'm just going to be relaxed a little bit. I'm going to just kind of cruise through and see what I have at the end.
All right, Shu. Good luck to you, man. We'll keep an eye on you.
Thank you, sir.
Adam Shane, notorious for working his way through the field. All right, let's turn our attention up front. The restart is going to be exactly like the start of the race. Negus and Pearson. Pearson was making the 29 work. Now let's see what Pearson does this time. Well, they're going to go around one more time. A little longer pace laps here at Nashville than I'm used to.
Yeah, lights just now going off here, so hopefully the driver's ready to get rolling here. They behave themselves, but with all this banking, it really does encourage that double wide racing, and I don't see the guys settling down anytime soon.
Not a whole lot of drivers going up or down. Donnie Moore and Todd Liston up a couple spots from where they started. Lowell Jewell able to vulture a position there. Did John Wilson get back out with us? He sure did. He's at the very back. Come on, Goose. Plenty of time to flap those wings, make your way through. All right. This time we're going to get in a nice long green flag run. We're going green, working lap number 6. A great start from Scott Negus. See you later, alligator, says Scott Negus. Bobby Hayes working the inside. Boy, now the momentum for the 22 of Pearson. Pearson was left behind by Negus, but now we see what he can do on the 13.
Yeah, I think if you're Pearson, you got to get it done in about 2 or 3 laps. You don't want to drive in too deep and keep making it angry. And well, he gets it done a lot quicker than that. Look at you, the old timer joining the party here, Sue.
Now it's Donnie Moore. Remember, he is in the points race here, sitting second in the points, coming in, racing outside in what is third position. Can he finish that spot on Bobby Hayes? Gets momentum out of 4. He can. I'll spot for you, old time. Clear. He gets third. Hayes into 4th. The 87 is Todd Liston, 3-time champion, back there a little bit farther. We talked about Spees. Spees has more wins tonight than any other driver on the track. He's got 2 of them, and right now he's working that inside line, gets the best of Liston. Where is Aiden Young Gun Young, our points leader? Oh, he's doing what he does. Buried back in 11th position, saving the stuff for when it counts.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of times I doubt the kid. You hear me say, I don't know how he can work his way up. He does it, but this is a tracksuit. Definitely, you want to save your stuff. Be able to work yourself around the outside towards the end. And Aiden's the guy you got to watch out for.
We're looking at Bobby Hayes stuck to the outside. Remember the nature of the beast here, the rules package for a Bootleg Racing League. Qualifying does not matter. The grid is set based on the top 13 finishers from the race before. So half-assed is Bobby Hayes. We don't know. He wasn't that quick in practice. Maybe he got gridded a little farther up than he would have liked. Yeah, Bobby Hayes was down in the bottom third of practice times. He's dropping right now. He's a veteran. He'll know how to get it done. And, of course, you don't need to be fast early on. Being fast at lap 11, you want to be fast at lap number 91.
No, exactly right. You know, he's doing the right thing. He's not overdriving it, not abusing the stuff. And at the end of the day, I bet he's got a lot more tread here in the final 20. So we'll have to see what that 13's got as it closes.
There's a nice look at Lowell Jewell, real close up as the 2 goes by. That fluorescent blue machine out there, that's the 79 of Adam Shane. We talked about him. Hasn't really been able to make up a lot of spots. Big mover so far. Nobody up more than 3. Donnie Moore, Stephen Spees, and Todd Liston, all of those guys. James Lowe as well. They're single file now.
Yeah, and Bruce, you know, it looks like he's just trying to calm down, settle in, but we've seen it before, you know. I mean, we've seen these things have a quick yellow, go green the rest of the way, and if you're the double deuce, you don't want to let too much tension on that leash. You know, you want to keep it tight, you want to keep it close.
Right on board of Donnie Moore, looking over his left front. That car way out in front there of Pearson, that's Scott Negus. Somebody needs to check his luggage for stolen towels because he has checked out, baby. Look at that. You can see on the tower the gap between Negus and Pearson. 3/4 of a second by Bootleg Racing standards. That's oh my goodness, that's a generation.
Yeah, and realistically, you know, I mean, in the closing laps, you see a guy maybe be 1/10.5 faster at most. I mean, you don't save too much with the tires. So, like I say, you can't let him get too big. And Negus, a guy who's been out front before, maybe paced himself too early, and he's going to hope he doesn't face that here once again.
Let's turn our attention to car number 16. It's Ed Springer racing back in 15th position right now. He looks a little hungry, and the meal he would like to have is former police chief of Plain City, Ohio. That is Steve Hilbert. Hilbert out there in the 57. Hilbert, the older of the Hilbert brothers, his younger brother Tom, back there in 19th spot.
Yeah, I like what Hilbert's doing. You know, he's everybody else, they're kind of entering in about half a car length lower. And if you're by yourself, you might as well do what he's doing there. I mean, save the right front. Don't dive it in so deep. Just back the corner up and worry about exit speed. And keep an eye on that 52 in the closing laps as well. He may not know it, but he's doing a good job of saving his stuff.
Let's drop back a couple cars there to the 75. The goose is loose. We're talking about the 75 and John Wilson. He's all over the back of Springer. We were just looking at Springer, trying to get something done on Steve Hilbert. That didn't happen. Springer lost a little bit of momentum. And there to pounce, pecking at him with that Canadian goose-like bill is John Wilson.
Yeah, remember, he's already got one set of 360s on those tires, so he can't be too aggressive working his way up through the field. Not as aggressive as he'd like to.
Oh, he's going to go to second. Donnie Moore making a look at Pearson. Pearson has been caught outside. There goes Moore, trying to get down underneath the double nickel of Steven Spees. That's not going to happen on Spees' watch. I'm there, Bruce, says Steven. He's in there as well. The 87, three-time champion Todd Liston trying to follow Spees through if he can. Oh, double deuce Bruce stuck on the top side. Things are not looking good. And then there's Kurt Smith, the fourth car in the passing train.
Yeah, he wised out, though. Didn't want to go side by side with Steven. Saw the opening, and he drops in line. So good heads up there by the double deuce.
Well, Scott Negus is having his own way when he had Bruce Pearson follow him. But now the number 26 of Donnie Moore has gotten around there. 2 career wins for Spees and 1 career win for Moore. Nobody has raced here more than Donnie. We're a quarter of the way through.
Yeah, just like that short track racing. I mean, they can click them off. And now, if Aiden Young's paying attention to that scoreboard at all there going into 3, he just saw Donnie move up. I mean, he doesn't want to wait too long. This could be a big hit for him.
Points gap between Moore and Young was 10. Right now, Moore races in second, Young in 10th. Do the math. That's an 8-point difference. Young, though, not worried right now. Early days, he's telling me. I can hear Aiden watching this on the race replay saying, Soup, chill. Plenty of time for me to make my way through.
Well, it looked like Steven was thinking about ducking down, but he just couldn't find the run to do it. Kurt Smith looked at him diamonding through 3 and 4, trying to find a way to get a run on Liston, but Liston, another one, running that Hilbert line there, just entering in the center, doing a good job of not abusing that right front. When you do that, Sue, you don't give the guy behind you much choice other than going right up there against that wall.
Spees is hungry. Spees looking to go underneath Moore. Moore's going to give him the room. He leaves the bottom line open. You have it if you want it, Steve. Nice momentum, though, from the 26 racing in that second line up. I got to think if I'm Scott Negus right now, I don't want to speak for him or think for him in this case, but I got to think he's kind of happy with Donnie Moore between him and Spees. Spees is not the kind of guy who will wait to get to the front. He'd rather get there, get underneath you, and then make you do the work later on.
No, yeah, it's the perfect combination for Negus behind him because Donnie's a guy who will leave the lane open, but you know as well as I do, Sue, he's going to race you for it. We saw it there. When he left the bottom open for Steven, he drove him hard, center off, beat him, and now Negus is just looking up in the mirror with that big smile on his face.
We talked about guys with wins here. Let's look at the 99. This is James Lowe. He's another driver that has a career win here. He sits third in the points. And now he comes up behind Kurt Smith. Smith's trying to find anything he can do there with Todd Liston.
Yeah, Liston, he normally one of the guys leading this pack suit, but stuck in the middle. He's doing a good job of showing patience.
Spees again makes another peek at Moore.
Yeah, Donnie, man, he's just watching him burn that right front up. I mean, he's leaving it open, saying, go ahead, Steven, take it. And then he just steps in that accelerator center off. And that run you can get upstairs is something else here.
There are a couple people making moves here. Liston would like to get around Pearson if he could. Look into the inside of that 87. Can we get a close-up on the 87? Is that that's a different paint scheme, right? That's a little more non-fluorescent as what we're used to seeing him in. I remember him talking about maybe ditching the green paint scheme wasn't working for him.
See Gas City Speedway, if I can get some verification. I think that's what it says on that.
Gas City. I think that's somewhere in Arabia. Donnie Moore working the lead there. Kurt Smith all over the back of those guys. Young and Lowe is coming. Let's go back and look at Aiden Young. Here's a spot to be had. As he tries to get underneath the 13th of Bobby Hayes. Hayes doing his best to race up front. Hayes started in fourth position. Getting to slip back a little bit. There's one spot for Young Gun.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was going to get that done. I thought he was going to follow Mr. Excitement right on by there, but he wasn't as close as he would have liked to be. And Bobby, he made that interesting.
Oh my goodness, Scott Negus having it his own way right now. Let's look at second. Spees is just pestering like a little sister on Donnie Moore. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. You can almost feel Mom and Dad saying, if you two don't behave, we're going to turn this car around.
No, and this is where if you're Donnie, you don't want to race too hard early, but at the same time, look behind you. So what are you supposed to do? Pull over, just let him by and lose 5 or 6 spots. So Donnie doing exactly what he needs to do, just pacing himself, and Steven's going to take a peek.
Oh, he gets down there again, and look at the veteran Moore, leaving it open for you. Boy, if you want to get down there and you can make a stick and you get momentum off that inside line, I'll let you have it. It does not work. Passing so hard sometimes.
Yeah, and that's just where you have to stay disciplined. You can't go up there, rough the guy, get him out of the way. You just got to try to beat him on the racetrack. And right now, Donnie hitting his marks, man. It's not going to be easy.
All right, there's that fluorescent blue number 79. I guess it's blue. Maybe it's pink. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's bright. It is blue. Trying to get underneath the number 2, a Lowell Jewel. That doesn't work. He loses momentum. And when he loses momentum, he falls back into the clutches of Weinecker. On the outside, Ed Springer. Let's watch that battle between the 15 and 16 there. Keep an eye on that. It's a little farther back. While that's going on, keep another eye on Speeds as he continues to pester the heck out of Donnie Moore.
And Springer got it done on the high side there. He wanted to go again on the high side, but the shoe not going to open that lane. And Lowell doing another one, man. We're seeing these guys that, you hate to use the cork in the bottle here, but they're doing such a good job entering in the middle and just not really giving any choice to the driver behind. It's fun to watch.
Let's go to second. He's going to take another shot. Spees spies the inside. They touch this time. They leave himself enough room. Remember, there's a dynamic here that Steven Spees knows about. He's a part-timer. He dives it down deep again. He knows that Donnie Moore is in a championship hunt. The last thing that Spees wants to do. He's only raced. His first race was just last week. It's coming in right now. He's just trophy hunting. But while he's trophy hunting, he certainly doesn't want to mistakenly shoot Donnie Moore with the elephant gun.
No, definitely not. I think so far, so good, being pretty respectful. But man, you start to see that temperature gauge rise, and you hope he makes those same decisions he's making now here in about 30 laps.
All this going on behind the Canadian Scott Negus. Look at the tower. You can see the gap between Negus and Moore now, 0.88. It was 0.75 a while ago.
Look at Adam. He's finally going to get the pass done on Lowell, and here comes Springer. He's trying to join the party. Lowell might lose 3 spots.
The boss man drops all the way down into what would be 14th spot. All right, the action is for second. Let's talk about this train that involves, I'm counting 7 cars now. Let's go ahead and make it 8. Let's say that Aiden Young is in the mix. All right, Aiden, the smorgasbord's laid out there in front of you. Put on your bib. Get some serving utensils and dish yourself up a nice plate. Lots of points to be had. It starts with the entree that is Chris Davis.
Yeah, and coming out of 4 this time, Soup. 50 to go here, so it's go time now.
Donnie Moore doing all he can to stay out in front. This really could be, when you think back of it, if Moore were to slip to the upper line and these guys would get underneath him, it would be point after point after point after point after point lost for the man sitting in second right now.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, the last man in that train would be the guy you're fighting, so that would be the biggest heartbreak of all. But Liston, man, he almost got a good run there on the double deuce of Bruce Pearson, but he had to back out of it there.
Speeds again, looking to the inside. Donnie Moore. Racing like a $3 bill is Donnie Moore. Hard to pass. Speeds continues to peak and pester. Bruce Pearson, who was racing in second for a while, fell back a bit. Would like to get that back there. Lined up behind you, Bruce. Bruce may not be the fastest, but he's fast enough to stay on the back of of the Moore train.
I'm anxious to see the 22 there. He's doing a good job staying to the inside, but Will Liston, I mean, he's leaving that top shelf open. Does Liston try it? But here comes Spees. He's going to go again.
He looks good down there. Moore leaves him room. This is the best drive that Spees has had off of 4, but it's still not good enough. Moore gets the run down into 1 and finishes it. Spees now will try to get back there, cool off his tires a bit. One mistake from Spees is all Pearson wants. Pearson, the accordion effect there. Pearson had to check up to not get into Spees. Liston almost got into him. Kurt Smith uses that momentum. The oop-pa-pa as Todd Liston's got his fingers stuck in the accordion bellows. Now he's stuck to the top side. Look at the 6 trying to go underneath him. This didn't work for Spees. Will it work for Smith?
And you talked about that accordion. It affected the 99 a low. Move Aiden Young up 1 spot. He was able to get to the inside, but Kurt Smith not able to do it. But now we're looking at what I was talking about. Liston getting to the outside of the 22. Can he make this work? I betcha he can. Good run out of 4.
As he works to the top side, Spees got underneath Moore one more time, but it didn't work. So the 87 has shown the guys that are a little behind him how to get it done. Liston now looking to the inside. Liston has a rough time of it this season as a Vincent point. Good drive down the front straight for Spees. Spees can't get there. Liston is there now. Spees now has 2 things to worry about. The car in front of him and the car behind him.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I think that's why we saw him not make the move there. Maybe a mirror check saw Liston was there, and see, he's going to look down low, but he's got to make it work here.
Steven Spees sandwiched between 8 championships. 5 for Moore, 3 for Liston. Spees looks, this is the best he's looked so far, but Moore has been strong off of 4. Not this time. This is the best Spees has been. Now Liston has to decide, do I want to try to roll the top side? I made that work before. The problem is I don't think Moore's fast enough. That's not the lane to go to, Todd, because even though you're faster, I don't think Donnie Moore's going to be able to run it up there. But now, Spees has been burning up his tires on the inside. He continues to be on the inside. This is the 3rd lap like this. Now Donnie Moore's going to get the best of it, and Liston says, okay, Soup, I think I can make it work on the top side now because Donnie has cleared Spees. This is some chess playing going on at short track racing. Chess on a half-mile checkered track.
Yeah, I really did. I mean, Steven got up there, roughed him up once or twice as clean as you can, without turning the guy, just trying to slow him down, but it wasn't enough. And now, Liston, the roles are reversed.
Smith to the inside of Pearson. Pearson had to check up so he didn't get into the back of Spees. All this going on, Liston all over the back of Moore. Oh, what great racing for second. And don't forget about Scott Dingus, who's out there in front having it his own way.
And now Steven here, he's going to return the favor to Liston. He gets a run on the outside, and I think these guys are going to maybe figure out, hey, we might have to work together to try to get around this 26 because, man, he's tough.
Oh, Donnie Moore, you can't block them both. They're coming on each side of you. Spees to the right, Liston to your left. Might have a 3 wide here. Might be the only way to get them.
Yeah, you don't want to do it, but now if you're the 55, you almost got to really overdrive the center and try to get to the outside of Donnie Moore. You kind of seen the light at the end of the tunnel. Got to make it work on the top shelf. It's the only way you're going to get it done.
That's where they keep the good booze, and that's where the good booze is, and that's what Steven Spees is drinking right now. He makes the top side work around Liston. Now let's see if he can do the same thing to Donnie Moore. Donnie Moore just watching it.
Aiden Young here to the inside through 3 and 4 under Mr. Excitement. We'll see if he can get it to work. We saw how patient he was, so if this 69 with all this tread left on those tires can't get it to work, the high side is where you want to be here. When it closes, they make a little contact.
Oh my goodness. And one of the beauties of league racing is you know who you're racing. Aiden Young has got to know that the man outside is called Mr. Aggressive. He's got to race him a little bit different. Let's see now if Davis can make the top side work. Spees is pinned down low. Young pinned down low. Young is notorious for going to the top side and making stuff work. He's not able to do it. He's going to have to go down underneath.
Yeah, I think he kind of sees that train there middle in, and you got to go where they're not. It's open on the bottom, so Aiden, you gotta love him diving it in there like that. Oh, he's got enough. He's finally gonna get it done.
You gotta wonder if Scott Negus is watching any of this through his rearview mirror. You're missing a real good show, Scott.
I don't think he's quite okay with that. Yeah,
I think so too. I hear him telling me, Soup, that's what watching the replay is for.
Steven, oh man, he's thinking about it again, and look at Liston. He's going to the top shelf. He's licking his chops.
Spees had a really good run down the front straight, got some momentum, tried to duck it underneath. Donnie Moore putting the car just low enough to make it Spees work. Now that's going to give Liston a shot. Remember, Liston and Spees have swapped positions before. Be interested to see if Moore moves up the track a little bit because he knows Liston is coming. Boy, Liston has made the outside work again. You wonder if I can get to the outside, but I think Donnie's protected the outside, guarding it like a park ranger.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And, you know, I mean, you got to be responsible if you're the guy behind and you give him a tap as he slides up in front of you on exit. You're going to put him in the wall, and you're going to wreck yourself, too. So not the time to give somebody a bump there coming out of the corner. And Donnie doing a good job of holding on. There we go. Liston got in the back of him there, coming out of the corner. Did exactly what I said not to, and Liston bounced in the wall. So, man, oh man, that's these guys gotta watch out here. It's gonna get hairy.
What good racing! And Bruce Pearson is now making a peek on Spees. You gotta wonder if Spees hasn't heated up his stuff for all he's done. Kurt Smith knows that the top side is working. I'm gonna try to go up there as well. Aiden Young is back there, now trying to make a move. This is some great racing from second all the way down to what would be ninth position. And then there's Scott Negus.
Yeah, you know, Negus, like, I brought it. Oh, man, look at Smith. Big move. Woo, man. This California wins came the whole way to Nashville.
My goodness, Spees lost momentum. He had to check up, drifted to the outside. Smith trying to go underneath. Pearson now has lost positions. He falls back. A little bit of bump from Mr. Aggressive back there on Pearson. Now Aiden Young is stuck to the top side. One of the best races you'll ever want to see, all courtesy of Donnie. My car is whiter than a Julia Roberts smile more.
Oh, man, I thought Liston was going to try to force that thing up there. He is really, I mean, he's higher than we've seen anybody now in the corners. He knows you don't want to be stuck. Oh, Kurt Smith
in the wall. Woo. Pearson gets underneath them.
3 wide.
Oh, 3 wide, and Smith gets bumped up to the top. And now, hello, there is the number 13. We haven't seen Bobby Hayes for a while. He gets it done. There's the 16 also of Ed Springer in the mix. Goodbye, Kurt Smith. You're out of there. Let's go back up. Look at the 7. He's underneath Young.
Yeah, and remember, they made some contact when it was the other way around. So let's see what Mr. Aggressive does. Does he have that elephant memory, or is he a goldfish tonight?
Spees now drifts up. Pearson goes underneath them. Momentum to Young. Young and Spees trying to work the top side. Pearson pinned underneath. Liston looking to the outside of Moore. Moore sees him and moves up and puts a not now, not on lap 83. Try again later. Pearson underneath of those guys. Now Spees is there too. Oh my goodness. They are dancing a tango in the China shop. 3 wide. Get ready to break a T-set.
Yeah, and you know, you mentioned points. That double nickel knows that kid up top is his teammate leading the points. He is not going to get aggressive.
That's work.
Yeah, that is the least aggressive I've ever seen Steven, man. Just hunkered down right in the middle, held it slow, and knows it wasn't time to go there.
Aiden Young rolls the top like only Aiden Young can do. Move the 69 up into 4th, and now he's got Liston and Moore ahead of him.
Damn, Liston, man, he's not going to have much of that right side left. He bounced it off the front stretch wall again. He is really searching coming off of 4, just trying to find a lane to get to that top shelf. And You know, Donnie, his eyes are glued there. He's running up there on entry and exit. He's doing a great job here.
Welcome to the party, Adam Shane. He's back there racing in 9th position, but I think he probably has a lot for these guys who've been racing really hard up front. Young now on the inside of Liston.
How many times do we see Steven try it? Will Aiden be able to get it done? We know he's got a lot of tread left. Looking pretty good so far, but just doesn't have the speed coming out of the corners.
5 championships for Donnie Moore, 3 championships for Todd Liston, and the partridge in a pear tree is Aiden Young. He's got one too. Lots of champions racing up front. Oh, so much to look at. Shane going underneath Davis right now, but we don't need to go there. Young to the inside underneath as Spees tries to roll the top side. I think that the inside line is faster on your own. I think the top side is faster when you're side by side.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You know, you can't run that qualifying line. Oh, Liston finally got to the outside. There. But 10 laps to go, Soup. Does he have enough time? He's going to need help.
Donnie Moore saying, turn on the reggae music. If you're going to pass me, you're going to have to do it high. And Todd Liston says, no problem on. As he goes to the top side, he moves into second and now sets his sight on Scott Negus.
Did an excellent job, though, of stopping the bleed and got up in front of the double 5. So that could have been bad if he would have got trapped down on the bottom. Great job there.
Donnie Moore now knows that the man he's chasing in the points is right behind him. Speed's trying to give Moore a little bit of help going down the front straight, trying to give him a few more inches, maybe keep him ahead of the 69. Young pinned to the inside. Meanwhile, we may have another story as the 87 has left Donnie Moore behind. He's got a long way to go to get to Scott Negus. We'll see if it happens. Oh, only 6 laps to get there. I think that's a tall order. Unless a yellow were to come out. What great racing from all these guys up front. It's hard to believe we've had such close racing and we're still under green. Knock on imitation wood.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. See, one of those yellows may not be too far behind, man. These guys are racing really hard, and Aiden can't find a way to get his way around his teammate there in that double 5. And Lowe, you know, somebody else we talk about who always saves his stuff. He's just trapped behind these guys' double file. I think he's got the quickest car of them all.
The 99 is quick, but he has nowhere to go. Donnie Moore is trying to hold 2 off. Young goes underneath him. That's not going to work. Moore does not get the drive off of 2 that he would have expected. Now he's stuck to the top side. Young's going to take it down low. Remember, Donnie Moore is trailing Young in the points. Young and Moore sit 1 and 2 in the points. Spees is not in the mix. He's trophy hunting. Now Young gets underneath him. Donnie Moore's got to be saying, let me pick up at least 1 point on you, Young Gun. Young Gun gets underneath him. We set it up in the opening. It's old age and treachery against youth and exuberance. And right now, it looks like maybe youth is going to have the advantage. They are still racing hard for 3rd.
Held on to it, but he goes up there, touches the left rear, man. He was slideways. He's going to lose that spot to his teammate and possibly another one to Lowe. But boy, oh boy, good hands there by Aiden Young.
Points at the end of the season are cost just as much as points in the middle and at the beginning. Keep in mind what just happened there to Aiden Young, as he's going to lose at least 2 points as he drops now behind Spees and maybe the fastest guy out there, James Lowe. The problem is Lowe is stuck high behind the 2 guys. With that going on, we get to lap number 100, white flag. Remember him? He hails from Canada, Nova Scotia. Out of corner number 4, get to know you from Nova Scotia, and Scott Negus. Todd Liston will get 2nd. Donnie Moore holds on to 3rd.
Yeah, and a side-by-side battle with Spees. They had a great race to the line, those 2. Phenomenal race.
Oh, sweet sassy molassie. 1 yellow flag. Then they go green for what would be, I believe, 94 hard laps. Scott Negus gets the win. Donnie Moore picks up 1, 2, 3 points on Aiden Young. Oh, the racing is over here, but the broadcast is not. Don't go far. We'll come back, run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a shoelace on the gate. You're watching the Virtual Grip Network. Welcome back to Nashville and VGN's 7th round coverage of the 83rd edition of the Bootleg Racing League's Outlaw SK Modified Invitational Series. Oh my goodness, this was a fun one indeed. Let's go ahead and run down the finishing order for you. Well, he started on the pole. He stayed out in front for all 100 laps. We're talking about the kid from Nova Scotia, Scott Negus. He gets the win, his 3rd of the season. Todd Liston will get 2nd position. Donnie Moore, a lot to be said about Donnie Moore. I think Donnie Moore owes a big thank you to the entire field behind him. Clearly not the fastest driver out there, but he was the widest out there as he is able to hang on for 3rd position. Steven Spies and James Lowe go 4th and 5th. Aiden Young Gun Young got as high as 3rd, was peaking at 2nd before he fell farther back. Adam Shane had a nice run to the field, but that's what he does, 15 to 7th. Double Deuce Bruce Pearson started in 2nd, was able to hang on to the front train the whole time. He'll settle for 8th. Kurt Smith was really fast, just could not find anywhere to put the car until he put it in the wall. He finishes in 9th. How about the rookie, Ed Springer, a top 10 for him?
Yeah, Bobby Hayes started 4th, couldn't really recover after a rough start, brought it home 11th. The Caveman, Trey Bloom, bringing it home 12th. And Jeffrey Harden, the coveted P13, going to start on the pole next week. Daryl Weininger, 14th. Lowell Jewell, the Boss Man, 15th. John Wilson, 16th. Steve Hilbert, 17th. The Lipper, Chris Hazlip, 18th. Chris Davis 19th. Not too sure what happened to Davis as he was running up towards the front. That's a little bit of a shock. That's why I paused. But rounding out Tom Hilbert there in 20th, and they're rounding out the field there. I thought we had 21 for some reason. Soup, my bad.
Very quiet race from Jeffrey Harden. Look for him to start on the pole next time around. With that said, let's go ahead and dial up Scott Negus. Scott, when you watch the replay of this one, you're not going to get a lot of screen time for a man who goes wire to wire. I don't know if you were able to see what was going on behind you in the rearview mirror, but it was chaos back there behind you.
I was watching it, and I could see them burning their tires up, and I was sitting there saying, "Ooh, baby."
We watched that. We saw you get the gap to about a second, and honestly, I think you probably could have moved it all the way up to 3 if you needed to, but you just kind of sit back there and let it rest and get yourself a nice win.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, Soup. You guys are teaching me for sure.
Well, I believe you've had one already in this car this season, so you're starting to get the feel of it.
It's coming around. I'm starting to get a little more comfortable in it. The big tires are starting to make more sense, and I'm starting to understand how to make it turn a little better.
What kind of real-world racing do you see in Nova Scotia? What do they do up there? I mean, other than like slow snowmobiles and dog sleds, what kind of auto racing do they do up there?
We do a lot of pro stock, like a late model stock car. We don't have any open wheel. Well, we do. We have an open wheel mods series, but it's by no means an SK series. So, but there is a lot of street stock versions and sportsman versions and super late model type racing. So little short tracks up in Canada like they have in the U.S. Yes, sir. A lot of them.
All right. Okay. Congratulations on the win. We'll see you down the road.
Thanks, guys.
Scott Negus starting to put it together. All right, Shaggy.
Yeah, I think I got it. No stranger up here. Todd, listen, you got a copy?
10-4, I got you, Shaggy.
Well, man, I've never seen you have to just really, put your head down, stay patient, and when I say try every inch of asphalt to get around that 26, man, you really did. What goes through your head when you finally pop that cork and get around? You hoping for a caution?
Nope. I was content with where I was at. I think Scott got a nice easy cruise. I think he got up to about a second ahead. Just set that thing on autopilot, and I was definitely reaffirmed in that. When the first lap I gained like a tenth on him, and then after that he was just gone.
Yeah, now, you're battling side by side there with the double five of Steven Spees, and you guys would take turns going back to the inside of Donnie. What finally clicked, man, when you said, I ain't going down there no more?
Well, Donnie was really fast, and he was definitely seemed like he favored the high line. That was the line he was guarding. So I figured if I got down under him, he's gonna know how to get me on corner exit. It's where it is on this track, especially 1 and 2. You hit that bump, you don't get it just right, and it's a high risk situation. I was a lot more comfortable on the outside, so after that shot and realizing I had a pack of cars behind me, I'm either gonna have to play the same game and defend that high line where I know I can pinch somebody else off, and hold them down, or I'm gonna have to just hope and pray he makes a mistake and keep the pressure on, get to him.
Well, yeah, man, that's exactly what you did. You kept the pressure up. You debut the new red paint scheme. Looks amazing, Todd, and congratulations, brother. Who you want to thank?
Thank you. And this week, for the new red paint scheme, I wanna shout out the grassroots movement to save my hometown track at Gas City Speedway. You go to gascityspeedway.com. There's links to get to the website and stuff like that. And anybody who wants to, there's a petition and stuff. Anybody who wants to contribute in that'd be awesome, because I'm gonna miss that track if it's gone.
Well, hey, Todd, man, where I grew up racing as a teenager, they closed that. I know your pain, man. Hopefully they don't do that. Hopefully you have a lot of success with that. But heck of a job on the racetrack tonight, man, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks, Shaggy.
And with that said, now we get to bring up Donnie Moore. Donnie, that's a hard-fought third-place finish, man.
I'll tell you, I never worked so hard to hold a position. That was a workout, and that's off for Steven racing me clean there, and whoever else was behind me there. One little mess up, boy, and Todd got by me.
Yeah, indeed, and we gave them credit during the race because clearly, and don't get me wrong in this, clearly you are not the fastest of them, but they just weren't fast enough to get you. We thought that if they could get to the top side, that would be your weakness. Was that your thinking as well?
Yeah, absolutely, Soup. Yeah, I was going to give them the inside, all they wanted, but yeah, and Steve made a couple of tries down there, but the outside, yeah, I was trying to hold the outside for sure.
Then there were a minute, I think it was Liston and maybe Spees, or maybe I think Aiden Young might have been there. They were side by side. They were coming on both sides of you.
I thought I heard somebody say 3 wide for a minute, yeah.
Well, congratulations. I'll get you out of here on this one. I know that you just enjoy racing. It's not all about the championships and everything, but you are trying to run down Aiden Young. Do you do much clock watching, much looking at see where Young is on there? Or is that something that doesn't happen?
I keep an eye on my New Hampshire friend.
Good luck to you. We'll see you down the road. Well, we'll see you in just a little while for the late models. Good luck.
All right, thanks a lot.
Donnie Moore. And just an update here. He came into the race 10 points back. He's now 7 back. And also, some other guys to keep in mind. James Lowe finishes ahead of Aiden Young. He's still in the hunt as well. He picks up now just 14 back of Young. So if Young were to find some misfortune coming up as we go next round to Southern National, and Lord knows that anything can happen there, we could have ourselves a real good battle. You know, we have another race coming up in just a few minutes. That's going to be at Nashville. I want to talk about 2 more things. Tuesday night, we have the iRock series for yesteryear racing, and also Sunday. Shaggy, are you working Sunday as well? Does that thing happen this Sunday?
Yes, sir. The BRL kicks off, I believe, 8 o'clock Eastern. So,
oh my goodness, you don't want to miss that one. John Hine joining Shaggy in the booth. So much stuff happening on the Virtual Grip Network to keep track of. You know what? What you need to know is go to the refrigerator, make yourself a little snack. Come on back because we're going to have the late models in just a while. Until then, have fun storming the castle.